I've been building MOCs for quite a while now, and over that time I've rebuilt a lot of those MOCs. This could be seen as stagnation, and how for me, after a number of years of building a MOC, especially vehicles, or anything that I'm attempting to directly replicate the source material, I become more and more dissatisfied with it. And so I've found that rebuilding MOCs has been a powerful way to improve my skills as a builder, as I found that critiquing my older models and then trying to improve them forces my skills to improve. So most recently I've revisited one of the most recognisable vehicles from recent cinema. Building the Tumbler has always been, for me, one of the hardest things to transfer into minifig scale LEGO form due to its angular and unique shape. In fact, although this may seem hyperbolic, this was probably the most challenging MOC I've ever built and really required a lot of patience and experimentation. I've had the previous version of the Tumbler on my shelf now for 3 years, and after becoming less and less satisfied, I decided this time around my main priority was to make the shaping of the MOC as accurate as possible and not make any sacrifice to the exterior appearance, which has unfortunately resulted in me not being able to include the interior like before. However, this was something I decided from the beginning, as including the interior was not as important to me as not having to compromise the exterior. Also, one reason there couldn't be an interior is that the whole MOC is based around this Hero Factory body piece, acting as the chassis. But unlike most typical car chassis, it is not at the bottom of the car but at the top, with the rest of the MOC stemming from it, resulting in there being no room for a driver's compartment. I think a key to understanding the Tumbler is that Nolan's original idea was the Lamborghini Countach crossed with a Hummer, which to me means the Tumbler is not only a tactile and utilitarian vehicle but should also retain a sleek supercar nature, which I think can be quite easily lost when building a LEGO version of the Tumbler. So this time, to attempt to retain the Lamborghini Countach aspects of the Tumbler, I tried to reduce the amount of studs as much as possible. Something that helped a lot with that was some of the new tire pieces and also newer slopes. In fact, another big reason I wanted to rebuild the Tumbler is due to a lot of the new pieces I wanted to utilise that I didn't have last time I built the Tumbler, and definitely play quite a large part in this new model. But also I did use some of the old hinges as well, which LEGO no longer produce, to create the model. Also for this model, in contrast to my previous one, I decided to allow it to be slightly larger in order to make it more accurate. However, I would still refer to it as minifig scale, although it is considerably bigger than LEGO's minifig scale Tumbler, because to me there is quite a large range as to what can be considered minifig scale. One of the sections that was most challenging on the Tumbler, and always has been, are the front windows. Creating all the angles in such a minimal area was very difficult. However, in the end, in order to create the windows as accurately as possible, they swivel inwards slightly, allowing the blackness behind to suggest a more correct shape. Another aspect of the model that was challenging was the wheels, as I found a lot of the more typical rear LEGO tyres used for custom LEGO Tumblers seemed too small or too wide to fit for, or not accurate enough. So in the end I used tyres intended for RC cars, which do fit the LEGO rims quite well and are more accurate to the tyres on the Tumbler, and thin enough for me to fit 4 at the back according to the scale of the model. Although they may be slightly large, they were the best solution I could find, and to me, even if they are slightly oversized, it only exaggerates the Tumbler's intimidating nature. Despite not including an interior, I did want to include some functionality. For instance, the model can roll, if not very well, but also, most notably, adjustable rear hydraulic airfoils that are as accurate as I could make them to the source material. This feature was something very important for me to include this time, as with previous models, a major flaw was I entirely neglected the airfoils, often not including enough. However, here I am happy with how they turned out, as it is often easy for them to become too overbearing, noticeable and large, as I found it difficult to fit all the hinges into a compact area, but I think I managed to keep them discreet enough and include full adjustability. You may notice that there's hardly any colour except for black on the model, except for the jet turbine and the Alien Conquest blasters representing the shock absorbers at the back. I did try to include the small gold details as seen in the film. However, they felt too loud, distracting and almost random, as I wasn't able to include a consistent number, so for that reason I decided to purposely leave out the gold. So there it is, my third custom LEGO Tumbler. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if a few years down the line I do come back and revisit it once again, but for now I am quite satisfied with the final model. But for the final part of this video, I just want to talk about what I've got planned for the upcoming months on this channel, and that is, unfortunately, there's going to be a little bit of a break in videos, and that is because I'm going to be working on something which I've wanted to work on for quite a while now, and that is to make a stop motion film. Now, the film is going to be centred around Batman, and that is about as all as I can give away at this stage, except for the fact that if you'd like to take part in the film and help, you can audition for some of the roles. Now, the roles you can audition for include Batman/Bruce Wayne, Alfred, Ra's al Ghul, Penguin, Hugo Strange, and Commissioner Gordon. Now, all the roles I just listed there, except for Batman/Bruce Wayne and Alfred, do unfortunately only have one line. However, if you'd like to audition for those roles, or Batman/Bruce Wayne and Alfred, you can email me at the email thebrickdenuk@gmail.com, and I'll try and get back to you as quickly as possible to give you some more information. This film's going to take a lot of time and a lot of work. However, I don't want to do an update series on it, as I think it would just tarnish the final effect of the film. So that is going to lead to a little bit of a gap in content, at least for a little while, because as part of the film there are going to be a number of sets, and one major set is going to be quite a large Gotham City. Now, I'm going to treat this set as a full-fledged mock, so that'll give a full update series and mock showcase in between now and the final stop motion film when that gets released. Unfortunately, I won't be able to start this update series straight away, as the building of that mock is going to become quite late in production of the film, so that will lead to a bit of a gap in videos, at least for a little while. However, hopefully it all will pay off in the end. Now, I'm just going to give you a little bit more information about what I am planning for this Gotham City mock, and that is because a lot of you may know I have built Gotham City before in the past, but this time it is going to be radically different. And that is because, unlike most typical city mocks where you just build outwards, I'm going to be building upwards, stacking different parts of the city on top of each other. Sort of similar to the Ninjago City Lego set. However, this Gotham City mock is going to be quite a lot larger than that. Now, some of you may be concerned that the channel will then become a bit more brick film centred, and there'll be less of the usual content. However, that's not really the case, because at the moment I'm just putting all my energy into this one brick film, and then after that I do very much just expect to return back to mocks, as I've got quite a lot planned that I've wanted to do for quite a while now. Now, if the brick film does do well, I may make more in the future. However, I am just putting all my effort into this one, and I've got no more planned at the moment.
So that does bring this video to an end. If you have any feedback, I'd really like it in the comments below. And also, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads. But for now, thank you so much for watching this video.